Considering that the golden age of Marvel Cinematic Universe is supposedly going to end with Endgame, I thought it would be pretty cool to make a tier list. Since I've been watching these since they started coming out at the very beginning, I thought it'd be a good chance to finally reflect and do something with it. I really haven't talked about the Marvel Universe hardly ever on my channel, so I thought I'd make a tier list and give my thoughts on the films. So we're gonna on this other monitor, I got the phases and what movies were in those phases. So we're gonna go in order. And this tier list at tiermaker.com, it has stuff like Agent Carter and all that. We're not gonna touch on to the shows, but we're just gonna touch on the movies. I got this tier list right here. I think it's kind of speaks for itself. And you know, anything right here, even though by standards of today's time is like, hey, if you gave the movie like a 7, it's not very good. But in my opinion, that's above average, which average being 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 would be like here, and then below that, you know, that's kind of how I'm thinking of it. Okay, so phase 1 of the Infinity Saga, we have the granddaddy of them all, if I can find it on here. Here we go. Iron Man 1. I'm gonna say that Iron Man 1 is in the marvelous tier. It may not hold up the greatest, but I still find myself, even if it's on TV, I'll sit there and I'll watch Iron Man. You know what I mean? If you can sit down and watch TV with commercials for a movie, you like them pretty well. Next we have Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk film, which for more or less seems to be pushed to the backs of everyone's brain folds. I'm gonna say Incredible Hulk is... it's aight. It does get props, in my opinion. It probably has the best fight out of any of the Marvel movies, but I don't know. I don't feel like Hulk holds up that great. Especially considering I haven't done anything with him since. It's unfortunate, but at least Hulk gets some loves in the ensemble movies. Next we have Iron Man 2, which I thought was going to be a pop-off, man. I thought Iron Man 2 was going to be that. This is probably going to be one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. In fact, kind of average. Especially the ending. They built up this big fight between him and Whiplash, and then they just kind of kill him instantly. So I didn't really enjoy Iron Man 2 that much. So it's kind of average, man. Iron Man 2 is just kind of eh. Next up, we have Thor, which some people have some strong opinions about, but I got a soft spot in my heart for Thor, man. I'm gonna put Thor in You're Pretty Good. It's above average, but just by a little bit. I really like the humor in Thor, and I mean, it was a setup for many of the characters, which I feel like Thor's universe has had the best reoccurring characters, in my opinion. And then the last movie in phase 1 is Captain America: The First Avenger. I know some people really like this movie, but I'm gonna put Captain America with You're Pretty Good as well. It was a good starting point, but I'm not sure what directions I didn't really enjoy with the movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it just doesn't stand out as being that fond in my mind. It was good, but just not amazing. All right, well, now that we've gone through phase 1, we got to finish it with the Avengers. I'm going to put Avengers as marvelous because this was the big payoff. And I think it was a good movie. The only reason why I don't put it in the Excelsior tier is because it seems like a common problem with Avengers movies is there's got to be a cop-out in a sense of there's got to be a bunch of fodder enemies they fight. It's regardless of the movie. All 3 Avenger movies are just like that. And that's unfortunate because it takes away. None of those villains get any kind of setup like, oh, this amazing force that's coming to attack us or anything. It's like, okay, well, here's a big villain. Here's all these little minions. If they built them both up, it'd be a little different. You don't ever see the creatures or, as we'll see, robots. You don't get to see any of that until the end. You know what I mean? They're not set up as their own thing at all. So they're just kind of fart in the wind. The guy has the Avengers beat the shit out of something. So that's kind of where it is. I think Avengers probably has one of the, in my opinion, the worst Captain America costume at all. Like, I hate the Avengers Captain America costume. And I know some people like it, but I hate that costume. So that's phase 1 of the cinematic universe. So let's get into phase 2. Starting off with Iron Man 3. Woo! Iron Man 3 is doo-doo. Iron Man 3 is doo-doo tier. And that's kind of sucky, because it's like, hey, we started off with a banger, and then it was like, okay, and then just a lukewarm, is just a turd. I don't really want to go into Iron Man 3 that much. That's just my opinion. I don't remember the film fondly. The cop out with the Mandarin was really unfortunate. Some people seem to like it. I don't know why, but I felt like, hey, why are we doing this? It's just another business bad guy. Didn't we just do that with the first and second Iron Man? Yeah, we did. And we're doing it again. Next, we have the sequel to Thor. And Thor the Dark World is doo-doo! Thor the Dark World it's just, man, it might be the worst Marvel movie. In my opinion. I can't even remember. I've only seen the movie like 1 time. 2 times, maybe. And I can't even remember much about it. Maybe that's the problem. You tell me. Surely there's not that many Dark World fans out there. Surely not. You let me know in the comments. I don't remember much about the Dark World. Moving on. So, phase 2's off to a rough start here, guys. We got Iron Man 3 and Dark World. We got 2 turds coming out the gate. And then we have what I think might be the best Marvel movie out of all of them. Captain America the Winter Soldier is a certified banger. I mean, it totally threw me through a loop. I don't know any Captain America comics that went through that tell that story. I didn't know anything, and I'm a pretty big comics guy, you know what I mean? I know a good bit of storylines. Obviously, I don't know everything. I don't collect them, but I know a pretty good bit. I'm just sitting there being bored when I was in high school, reading on Wikipedia, all this stuff, just nonstop about characters that I want to learn about. Captain America threw me through a loop, and it destroyed S.H.I.E.L.D., and it set the tone for much of what's coming. And it was just, oh my god, man. It's like coming, the way they handled all the characters. Winter Soldier isn't even in the movie that much. It's named after him, but it's like everything with Bucky is so, it doesn't happen till like the back half of the movie, and it's just so good. It's, Captain America Winter Soldier stands on a tier of its own. It could be above this tier that I have on here. It could be just in the god tier. I think Captain America Winter Soldier is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, period. That's my number 1. So then after Captain America Winter Soldier, which was so good, we get Guardians of the Galaxy. We go from 2 turds to the 2 best movies in the whole damn thing. And I went to a small theater to see Guardians of the Galaxy, a small local one. And it's got 1 screen. I couldn't even really tell what was going on because it's a little fuzzy, okay? Not hating on them. I'm thankful I got the theater. But oh my god, man, Guardians of the Galaxy was so good when I got out. I went to it with no expectations. I think that's what helped a lot of people is we didn't know hardly any of these characters. I'm a comics guy. I don't know hardly any of them. I knew Rocket Raccoon and Drax. I didn't know anybody else. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is, if Winter Soldier is a solo movie, it's not really a solo movie. But an ensemble movie, Guardians of the Galaxy is better than any of the Avengers movies, in my opinion. I think it's truly amazing. It's a fun movie. This is about as serious as it gets. This is about as fun as it gets. So then we get the big payoff of phase 2, which was Avengers Age of Ultron. And man, I don't know where I'm gonna put this movie. It's aight. It's not anything near what the original was, in my opinion, especially on multiple viewings. I do really like Ultron and his voice actor. I can't remember his name. It eludes me right now. But man, I just didn't like the rest of it that much. I don't know. Something about Age of Ultron doesn't rest very well with me. Sorry. And then actually we close out phase 2 with another solo movie, which was after, I guess supposed to be after Age of Ultron. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. But is Ant-Man. And I think Ant-Man is pretty good. I actually went to Ant-Man expecting it to be terrible. I watched the trailers and everything, and I was actually hating on it. And I didn't watch it in theaters. I didn't watch it until it came out and someone had it on DVD. I wasn't even going out of my way to rent it, which is pretty close-minded of me, looking back, which is the way you don't need to be. Because Ant-Man was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was above average, and it was a fun movie to watch. That was phase 2. Phase 3 has a lot more movies, so let's get into it. You kick off phase 3 with the third movie in the Captain America trilogy, which this is, I guess this is technically Avengers 2.5 in my opinion, but so when I first watched Civil War, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was absolutely great. But the more I watch it, the more I kind of kick back and I'm like, I don't think it deserves that same tier. It is really cool seeing all these characters on screen and everything, but there's just, I don't know, man. When I watch it, I don't think it's amazing. If I could, this is where I put it. In between you're marvelous and you're pretty good. I think if you're going to watch the cinematic universe, you have to watch this movie. You do have to watch it. Do I think it is marvelous? Like I said, I think it's in that little line in between. But I don't think it's low enough to be in you're pretty good. I don't think Civil War belongs with Thor and Ant-Man. But I don't think it belongs with Avengers and Iron Man. So take it as it will. I'll probably get some hate for that one, but the more I watch it, the less I really enjoy it that much. I do like the ending. Alright, now we got a new hero, if I can find him. Where you at, boy? There he is. Doctor Strange is average at its best. I think the thing is that really got me with Doctor Strange was I had a hard time feeling like any of the characters were particularly more powerful than each other, because all they were doing is really making glowing things with their hands and shooting at each other, and they were changing the landscape where they're all running on buildings sideways and stuff, and it was just like, it didn't translate that good. Like fire whips. I'm like, it didn't really. I was like, everyone just looks like they're doing the same thing. It's like, how do I feel like these characters are more powerful than each other, or how do I feel this has weight? I just didn't really feel it. I just feel like it was just there. Doctor Strange, the way he's done in the latest Avengers movie, is way better than he was in his solo movie, in my opinion. He looks actually unique, actually powerful. But in his solo movie, just kind of average, man. Next up, we have the sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy, which is not as good as the original, but it is in its own marvelous tier. I do think Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is very, very good, but is not as good as the original. You could chalk that up to how blown out of the water we were with Guardians of the Galaxy. So it kind of, we're like, hey, Guardians of 2 is going to be good, obviously. So maybe that's why it's not in the same tier. But in any case, I do think Guardians 2 is a little worse than Guardians 1. Then we get old Webhead. I think Spider-Man Homecoming is marvelous. I think it is a very good solo Spider-Man movie that doesn't exactly go down the same tropes of us seeing him getting bit, Uncle Ben dying. Rest in peace to all the Uncle Bens out there that constantly getting shot. But I thought it was a good point for Spider-Man. Especially if you haven't seen the movie, I guess it's a twist towards the end about the villain. I did not see that coming. So I was actually pretty shocked in the theater, and I usually see stuff coming most of the time. I consider myself, I guess, a smart moviegoer, I guess. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I kind of see where this is going or whatever. I did not see that coming. And much like Captain America Winter Soldier, didn't see that coming. So those are the things that really, if you can shock me, you probably got me. And Spider-Man Homecoming got me. It's marvelous. Thor Ragnarok, man. Thor Ragnarok. when this movie came out, people were ranting and raving about it. Thor Ragnarok's pretty good. The more I watch Thor Ragnarok, the less I like it. It's just like Civil War, but to a higher degree. Thor Ragnarok, it takes the characters, and I understand they've been, like, Thor has been kind of influenced by Earth and all of that, but it's like, it is more of a comedy than anything. It's like, and it's too funny? They make characters too funny, in my opinion. Thor Ragnarok, the more I watch it, the less I like it. But it is very good. It is still good. Well, no, it ain't very good. This isn't very.
You're pretty good.
You're pretty good.
And that's where Thor Ragnarok is. Black Panther. Oh, man. Where do you put Black Panther? It was one of the best movies of all time. Black Panther is pretty good. I don't think Black Panther was as amazing as everyone made it out to be. Even when I was in the movie, there was stuff that was taking me out of it. Some of the music was jarring to me on first watch. I was like, why? But it does make sense later on. Like, they're all thematic songs. A lot of drum, jungle beats with actual Wakanda, like K-pop stuff when they were in, I don't know where they were, somewhere Oriental. But Black Panther has issues, man. CG in it is really spotty. I mean, especially if you look at like the scene where he's fighting, the first scene where he's doing the ritual fight at the waterfall. There's some spotty looking people out there. I mean, they look like some old Madden characters, or some old WWE like fans out in the crowd, cardboard cutout looking. I mean, they're pretty bad. They're not that bad. Not as bad as cardboard cutouts, but they're pretty fucking bad. There's a part where they're in the casino. For some reason, I guess they couldn't just blow up some fake money and have it fly around, so they just CG'd all the money. It looks fucking terrible. There's some of the motions that Black Panther makes, like acrobatic, and they just don't look natural. They don't look believable. I do think it has one of the best villains, but man, Black Panther is not all out people make it to be. And I'm sorry about to say that, but damn, Black Panther was not blowing me out of the water. But I do think you should watch it. Everything here, I would say watch. Anything below this, you can skip. But this up deserves a watch. So then we come to the latest ensemble movie, Infinity War. I'm gonna say Infinity War is marvelous. It really was a Thanos movie more than anything else. It's amazing to see them manage all these characters on screen at once. And I think that's the thing about the movies is we've seen action. Look at all these movies. We've seen action, dude. We just kind of want to see the characters be characters now. We kind of want to see the characters interact with each other. That's the best part of the movie. And yeah, the payoff with the fights is pretty good. But I just don't, I didn't feel like it just blew my mind. And that's probably because it's quite a slog to get to this point. I mean, let's see. We got 18 movies before you even get to this one. 18 movies. And that's considering I hope all this is here. Everything that's on this list has been on here so far. So I think this will be like the 19th movie, man. You know what I mean? Like your backlog, you kind of is a payoff for 18 movies worth it. We're not there yet. But it's a good setup. And I'm ready for Endgame. So the last movie we have is Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I thought Ant-Man and the Wasp was... I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is a throwaway, man. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp would be either kind of average or you're pretty good. But I'm going to put it in you're pretty good just because, like I said, anything below this, you can skip. These 6, you can skip. Ant-Man and the Wasp, you could probably skip, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to go watch this movie. I think it's pretty good, but it's on the lower tier of this. You know what I mean? I would say Black Panther is at the top of you're pretty good, and Ant-Man and the Wasp is at the bottom of you're pretty good. I mean, it feels like a total toss away movie. I don't really feel like they should have made the movie after watching it. We do have one more movie And that movie is, I don't know, because I haven't seen Captain Marvel. So so that was my list. I think you have to watch these two. Ridiculous. They're so good. Oh my god, they're so good. Iron Man, super good. Avengers, very good. Civil War, like I said, if we were going to rank this list, we're going to put Civil War at the back. Well, that's how we'll do this. This is how we'll do it. Let me move these around real quick. All right, so I swapped the list around a little bit. I was talking about best to worst. These lists from left to right is how I would watch these movies. Depending on this being number ones of the best in their series, this is the best Marvel movie. Iron Man, you gotta watch Iron Man 1. Come on, Iron Man is a banger. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, banger. Infinity War, banger. Banger. Oh shit! Banger. Like, well, not banger. Like I said, this would probably be above Black Panther, but I do feel like with all those characters, it's worth watching. Like I said, I wish it was in between. Shit, fuck it. I'm swapping it. Civil War is pretty good. It's not marvelous, but it's pretty good. I can't do it. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't make up my mind. I'm indecisive. Black Panther is the best if you're pretty good. A few more things they could have done have been marvelous in my opinion. Thor, the rest of these are gonna kind of all run together. I think I like Thor 1 better than Ragnarok, but you can kind of swap them out. They're kind of the same in my opinion. It is cooler. It's got Hulk and all these other characters. Captain America: First Avenger is pretty good. There's thing about these, like there's some things that stand out, but it does just blow my mind. These movies have very, very good things about them, and then these are just amazing. We've already talked about these. Do not watch Do List. Okay, you can skip its list. You may watch Avengers: Age of Ultron just to get to know where everything is. That's your opinion. So this was my opinion of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like this video if you did enjoy it, and maybe share it with someone so maybe I can get some growth on YouTube. I really need it. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.